Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this very special edition of Dad's on Wrestling. I am the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams.
And I am Jeff Meacham.
And we're here today because somebody on Facebook actually did something intelligent to spark conversation.
Whoa. Facebook and intelligent conversation.
Yes, sir.
You're bullshitting me.
Nope.
Alright, go ahead. This I gotta hear. Go ahead.
One of the members in one of the Facebook wrestling groups I belong to posted, "Where were you on June 27th, 2011?
Let's see.
And the first thing that came into my mind when I read that is, and I hate to draw a comparison because one is tragic and the other wasn't, but the first thing that went to my head is how people always talk about, where were you when Kennedy was shot?
Right.
Where were you on 9/11?
Yeah.
Where were you when Tiananmen Square happened in China?
Yeah.
Where were you during the OJ chase and the LA riots?
Yeah.
It's like,
and more recently, where were you during the whole thing 5 years ago?
Basically, where were you when CM Punk dropped his now infamous pipe bomb? And like I said, comparing the two things are leaps and bounds apart.
Yes.
You can't compare them.
Yes.
But in a sense, this is going to be one of those things that is talked about in that vein for the wrestling community for some time.
Right.
Where were you when Punk dropped that pipe bomb? And
You're about
the answer
in the back.
The answer for both of us is we were there. We were in the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, with the Lady Killer Ray Larkin. Stat Boy was there. He just wasn't in the house.
Yeah, he was.
He
wandering.
didn't have a ticket.
Yeah, he was wandering.
My old friend Chris Hardy, half of the Hardy guys, and his wife Bailey were there.
And wasn't the little one there too, or?
No, the little one was still in her belly.
Oh, so he was there in a manner of speaking.
But
we were there. It was.
It was one of those things that was completely mind-blowing when it happened.
Yep.
We heard Punk come out, and we saw him take his now trademark Indian-style seat pose
at the top of that ramp there,
and start talking, and the words that came out of his mouth captured everybody. Jaws hit floors. People that had been hating on Seaman Suck for years since he cashed in the briefcase on Jeff Hardy automatically became CM Punk fans.
Exactly.
While some of us had never really wavered. We loved what he was doing regardless.
I fully admit to jumping on the bandwagon because I didn't stop liking CM Punk when he cashed in on Jeff Hardy. I never liked Punk as a person, as a wrestler, as a talent. There was always a part of me that enjoyed his work. He's a tremendous athlete, tremendous wrestler, tremendous mic worker. I just couldn't look past the whole, he was a douchebag to me, a gorilla, so fuck him. But you know what? He made me believe for a minute. Because we were all going, what? When that happened. I had the old boss himself at the time texting me going, what the hell just happened up there?
Yeah, their server crashed.
Yeah, no DQ servers crashed because of what CM Punk did. And it wasn't the only website that happened to.
No.
I can assure you of that. I hear even WWE.com had a little bit of an issue. So for that to happen is amazing. And for somebody like me who has always said everything in wrestling is a storyline, I believe that CM Punk was suspended. I believed that he meant the things he said. And, truth be told, he probably did.
He did mean them, but it wasn't a shoot as much as it was a worked shoot.
Yeah, because
he was given guidelines and what he could and couldn't say.
Yeah, and, apparently he went over the top a little bit.
Because the mic got cut.
At the end of the day, we've all come to realize, those of us that met him in person, realize that John Laurinaitis is a yes-bag douchebag, a yes-man douchebag,
Yes.
He is that. We all realize that, Stephanie and Hunter are taking over the world, and, Hunter, whether Hunter's a doofus or not is questionable because he seems to be doing a good job doing his job now that he's completely taken over for Laurinaitis and completely taken over the whole live event department and things like that. He's doing a good job. Stephanie's always been a decent creative writer, at least what we've seen. There have been times where the writing has been shaky, to be sure. But the last year or so, since Punk said in his promo he was the champion of change, the voice of the voiceless, and when you think about it, the main target of that whole thing was Vince McMahon and John Cena, and the fact that John Cena had been this the anointed one, if you will, and
the
chosen one. Thank you.
Chosen one.
And John himself pointed it out Monday night. He has not been WWE champion for almost a year.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing for everybody.
That's kind of what I wanted to get to, is how much change has Punk's promo actually caused in the year.
Well, I mean,
it's like, if you think about it, Vince McMahon got removed from power, replaced with Hunter. Hunter got taken out of the picture and replaced with Laurinaitis. Laurinaitis' era has ended.
Yeah, both on and off camera, because if you go to corporate's website, he's not the executive vice president of talent relations anymore.
Yeah,
Hunter's the executive vice president of talent. He is the guy. He is that spot now. There is no more John Laurinaitis, which is part of what Punk wanted.
Yeah,
which is what we all wanted.
Cena, like you pointed out, has not been the champion for a year.
I believe since Hell in a Cell last year, which is October.
He's been in the picture because, let's just face it, John Cena's never going to be out of the title picture unless he's injured.
Right.
But he's not been champion for a year. We've had brand new champions like Punk, Alberto, Bryan Danielson.
Yep. Big Show was world champion, even though briefly,
for a cup of coffee.
But Big Show ended up being so far the only guy to hold the Big Four.
Yeah.
So, which wouldn't have happened. There's things that have happened, and and you look at the evolution of NXT, and that they took so long to get over that redemption season. Now they're finally doing the whole FCW NXT joint brand, whatever you want to call it, joint production. Thank you. You've got Jim Ross back in a commentary table, which is freaking great.
Although it's not on one of the actual televised shows.
But you can go to WWE.com and see NXT every week, which it's on my wall. So I gotta watch the first week, and we gotta watch
the next week's,
which is today, I believe.
But you've had all that happen. You've kind of had a little bit of a shift back to the Attitude Era.
Oh, definitely.
It's like you can kind of pinpoint that to The Rock's comeback on Valentine's Day of 2011. But it really didn't start getting the ball rolling until Rock was making semi-regular appearances on TV, which really came post the Punk promo.
And post Survivor Series, when Rock, teamed with Cena, And again, would the Rock's, choice verbiage been allowed in a pre-Pipebomb era? Probably not.
Possibly not.
Possibly not.
He did get away with some of it on that return.
Right.
But he may have been stifled afterwards.
Right. And, it's funny we're talking about this today, because today, June 27th, is also the 10th anniversary of the SmackDown broadcast in which Kurt Angle laid out that open challenge. And out came the red and black, bicycle short-clad John Cena. And he even talked about the fact that, before Punk went out there and sat in and called it a pipe bomb, he was allowed that luxury. John was, as a doctor of thugonomics. And it was long after he became the WWE champion that the whole PG era really took effect. And even he's been stifled and had to be the Make-A-Wish poster boy, which he does enjoy. Don't get me wrong, but he misses that John Cena too. We've talked about this hundreds of times on this show.
Yeah.
He misses that John Cena. We all miss the pre-PG era, even post-Attitude during the brand extension era. There was still more of an attitude, more of a, as Vince would say, a chutzpah.
Yeah.
Than there was before Punk laid down his choice of words, and to have that happen, and now guys are much more, appear to be much more free to do what they want. Look at a guy like Kane.
Yeah.
Kane,
look at him.
Kane, who prior to, think about it, he was hurt when Punk did what he did. He was out, and he, came back after showing his human side and shaking Randy Orton's hand and being, much less of a monster than he had been in his long run. came back, put the mask back on. He's smothering people. He's locking people in freezers. He's, you know, doing all kinds of stuff that the old Kane used to do. It was like, whoa. This whole thing with AJ notwithstanding, with the whole human side coming out again, you know, whatever. But, you know, and think about a diva like AJ, who, you know, up until recently had been, you know, just the geek goddess, this little nerd girl that happened to have a huge crush on a fellow nerd, Bryan Danielson.
I loved that girl.
I know, I did too. But now she's being out there showing her sexy side again, and she's very devious and, you know, very, very Attitude Era diva-like, which you wouldn't have seen.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this is something I would really like to see y'all post some video responses to this video, along with the regular comments. How do you feel the WWE has changed in the past year? Has it changed for the better? Has it changed for the worse? I tend to feel it's changed a little bit for the better.
I do
since
too.
the CM Punk pipe bomb.
I do too, and also wrestling in general. Because think about it, Punk's pipe bomb rippled through the industry.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it,
as soon as he dropped that pipe bomb and got suspended, TNA was putting up on their website, you know, the best of Punk at TNA.
Yep. ROH
was putting up the best of Punk in ROH.
Yeah.
You know, they were totally capitalizing on the fact that they had him first.
Yep.
And in ROH case, they had him the best.
Yes. That Summer of Punk DVD, if there was a higher priority than highest on Amazon, I'd label that thing like that, because that's on my wish list.
It's like, what better way to turn heel in the top indie company in the world than to sign your WWE contract on their championship belt?
Yeah. It's saying something when Mick Foley himself can show up in Ring of Honor, you know, the sock-toting man himself, and still get more cheers than your Ring of Honor World Champion, because he's that much of a douchebag in front of the crowd. Seriously. So,
what do y'all think? Please post video responses. Where were you on June 27th, 2011 when Punk dropped that infamous pipe bomb? For this special edition of Dads on Wrestling, I'm the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams.
I am Jeff Meacham.
We will see you tomorrow, regular bat time, regular bat channel with the regular Dads on Wrestling. See you then.